My only objective here is to turn as many of these young boys into fine quality men. Be God-fearing, be law-abiding, be courteous and respectful of women, be great students. Just be that. Be the best man that you could be.
The Steve Harvey mentoring camp is a lot more than what I expected. I expected just to be like really boring and like a whole bunch of like different people coming to speak to you. There's actually a bunch of men teaching you how to better yourself when you get out there in the real world.
But it takes a man to teach a man how to become a man. There are a bunch of men out there in the world that don't really care. There are a bunch of dads that don't even talk to their kids. And I think it's important for young men to understand that there are men that truly care about their well-being.
As human beings in general, we learn by modeling behavior. So it's critical for us to understand that what we see is what we're going to model. What we see is what we're going to want to be. And so having a reliable, consistent adult figure that a young man can model after is critical to their development.
I never did some of the things here, and I'm just starting to do it, and I'm starting to like a lot of things. Like baseball, I never really played before, and mixed martial arts, and team building. I did that before, but like working with different people is always going to be fun.
I'd like young men to see that everyone can become an engineer. That a young person, regardless of their background, regardless of their experiences, regardless even of their early education experience, can think about becoming an engineer and helping this country by helping to solve global problems that we have. And that's really what engineers do.
Getting a haircut is important because it shows that it's another step in being a man. You gotta take care of yourself. Now that I got my haircut, I feel great about how I look, and I'm really glad that the barber did that for me, and it really has me in high spirits right now.
The majority of these kids are from an urban inner city environment. If I really want to affect these boys, I got to take them out of the environment that they're comfortable in, and we can get their attention a little bit better like that. So coming outdoors and bringing outdoor activities, introducing them something new, fishing, archery, paintball. We got baseball, we got obstacle course, gaming lounge, everything.
We are here to change not only your son's life, but we are praying, hoping, and wishing that we impact you and change your life as well.
We try to help mothers understand how to navigate the journey they're on of raising this boy by themselves, which is a daunting task to begin with.
When you talk about the beauty of being a parent, as opposed to, the struggle of how hard it is without a man in the house. We all know that. So what I want to do with young women is to let them know you can make a difference in your child's life just by being the great you that you are. It doesn't have to be a struggle when you let go and let God.
They must learn what an opportunity looks like and how to craft one. That opportunity starts long before the actual opportunity occurs. When you treat people right and you're kind to people and you work hard, that's where the opportunity starts to unfold. Those are the seeds from which the opportunity grows.
In my conversation with them, I talked about commitment, I talked about focus, I talked about planning, I talked about making sure that they're prepared. Talked about work ethic. All those things are about success. All those things lead to future leaders of tomorrow for us.
Despite the bad chapters that you had in your life, your story can still end well. Today I just want to show the kids that your past is just an excuse. And you have to make a choice, either stay there or move on from it, but it all starts with you.
I like the mentors, and I got to meet a lot of people that I never thought I'd meet. It's a really good experience.
At the end of the day, you got to be a man, and I want them to be the best men that they could possibly be.
How many of y'all feel positive out there? Well, right now, what we want to do is we want to get everybody together all over the world as we get this thing started, something like this.
Hello and welcome to BRANDNEWZ.com, where hip-hop has a new direction. I'm your host, Christopher Martin, and this is Brand News and Reviews, where we share some of the great stories we reported last week and weeks before in our News to Know section at BRANDNEWZ.com about individuals and events making a difference around the world and even up the street. Now, some of our stories are produced by our own team Brand News reporters and producers that consist of mass communication majors, journalist students, in addition to the other sources such as internet, cable, and various print publications too. You don't have to wait until the weekend for our News and Reviews show for some good news. You can also get weekday news updates we provide Monday through Friday at BRANDNEWZ.com. What? You want to be more involved? Well, we'd love for you to be more involved and become a Team Brand News member and a regular contributor by contacting us at teambnz1@gmail.com or through our Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and our other social media connections when you visit BRANDNEWZ.com. At the top of today's show, we featured a piece brought to us from our friends at BlackCelebrityGiving.com about our dude, Steve Harvey, and about his mentoring program with the help of some other well-known friends making a big positive difference in the lives of future leaders. Now, our next story from our News to Know section at BrandNews.com comes from The Root, and it's, how did a Chinese American woman become a Black Power activist? Well, here's how to find out.
I feel so sorry for people who are not living in Detroit. People are always striving for size, to be a giant. And this is a symbol of how giants fall. Keep recognizing that reality is changing and that your ideas have to change. Don't get stuck in old ideas.
Grace has made more contributions to the Black struggle than most Black people have.
How did you become a philosopher?
I'll just go back 70 years. I'm not sure why I am who I am. I think it does have something to do with the fact that I was born female and born Chinese.
Folks didn't really think about Grace as a Chinese American. She was Grace, you know, she was just one of us.
I think the light bulb goes on very often in conversations that people have, and we don't pay attention to it.
Talk is cheap. I find it very, very difficult to take. I want to tell you honestly, their talk was not cheap.
Oh, God, yeah, she made all kinds of people cry. Myself included. Grace, how would you describe where we stand now?
One of the difficulties when you're coming out of oppression is that you get a concept of the Messiah. You have to get to that point that we are the leaders we've been looking for. We are the children of Martin and Malcolm. I don't know what the next American Revolution is going to be like, but you might be able to imagine it if your imagination were rich enough.
Awesome story, right? And thanks to The Root for such an excellent story. And I think one good piece deserves another. Our next story is also from TheRoot.com, and it's how Tupac's Thug Life translates to Broadway. That's right, y'all, Broadway. I know you're gonna love this.
And I can help but wonder why so many young kids had to die.
Hi, I am Tanya Pinkins, and I want you to come down to the Palace Theater and join me sing Holla If You Hear Me. Holla if you hear me.
Our block is filled with danger. Used to be a close-knit community, but now we're all home strangers.
Time changes us the stone.
The story's about two guys who were friends, and they were separated because one went to prison, and then the one who went to prison comes back to the neighborhood to try to change his world and to make it different.
Well, I play a guy named John Cavanagh, who's just spent 6 years in prison, and he's just gotten out and moves back to his old neighborhood and has decided, that he's not going to go back to his old lifestyle. But he's being pulled back in because of the reality of what's happening.
It's a love story. It's an unconditional love story about a guy that's trying to find that love of his country, and he wants that love of his country returned back. So Tupac's songs help us tell that story.
Living life is but a dream. Hard times is all we see. Every block is kind of mean. Yeah. We still pay.
Tupac had a huge imagination. You know, Tupac had a great deal of fiction in his writing and had a brilliant way of mixing his story with the real story to the point where his life became that fiction, to the point where he prophesized even his own death, you know. But the whole time, like, Tupac was an artist first. You know, he studied ballet, he studied theater, he did A Raisin in the Sun at the Apollo when he was 12. He was dreaming of Broadway, his mother says, and you feel it when you go through the text. You can really feel that this was something that he was conceptualizing from far off.
I think he was always trying to uplift young people and educate them and empower them.
He delivered his lines like with the passion of a preacher, the fervor of a minister. No matter what he was singing about, no matter what he was talking about, it lent more weight to what he was dealing, and it certainly got my attention, as millions of others as well.
The images that were in his music, it's theatrical in a way. You know, he's telling stories. He's talking about the things that he sees and the things that he knows, and so him seeing these things and writing them down is no different from, you know, your August Wilson writing down what he sees, or your Shakespeare writing down what he sees. It's from a different point of view, but he's writing what he sees, and he's putting these images in his music in a way it's perfect for the stage.
Another awesome piece, right? I told y'all, because Brand News ain't gonna waste your time or let you down. And on that note, please be on the lookout for some real big announcement news on how you can become an executive producer. Not a producer, an executive producer, that's right. And you can also take pride with us in producing more of these great stories to help others feel better and be inspired. Right now, I'm gonna leave you all until next time with a beautiful track and video from our friends Arrested Development titled Greener. And on that note, may God truly bless you all. And I want to thank my East Elmhurst and Corona family in New York for a great time over the Independence Day weekend. See y'all next week.
Mix the sunshine, add some rain, a pinch of loving, sow a seed, and the grass can be greener on the other side. The grass can be greener on the other side.
And the people go. Friends of mine worry about their welfare. They're not really doing well, they just doing fair. Without medical health care, pockets bare. Hiding they call from the repo man. Check and call RID before they answer their phone. Bill collectors call around the clock if they home, but they still wanna go on and replace their light bulbs. Blacks wanna be green, we wanna recycle. Many of us poor, so we take the mass transport. Walk streets, bump beats, is what the headphones are for. No SUVs, steady spilling mad smoke. All the baller images is us in the video. Most people that I know is on foot, living green naturally, it's all good. I recycle cans of paper goods in my hood, son. No trash mouth, cause trash is better in the dump.
On the other side. The grass can be greener on the other side.
And the people go.
I stopped to get some gas at the Sicko. I saw a brother passing by throwing trash out his window. I walked over and I picked it up. It was a styrofoam cup full of cigarette butts. What the He was a thug and a little bug. I'm just trying to be a man that's recycling. See, we support waste management in their efforts to prevent waste from piling up on each continent. We separate the paper and elastic, then do the same to cardboard and plastic. We take glass and balls filled with halogen and put aluminum and tin in a separate bin. My next again, yeah, we heard about it, but we been letting Al Gore friends worry about it. Yo, where we from, small hovering. So I'm dedicating this verse to helping Mother Earth to recover then.
Grow our trees, flowers blooming, track buzzing bees. Teach our kids how to plant seeds and nurture the harvest till this season comes. From the soil we feed. Sunshine, add some rain, a pinch pinch of love.